They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now, the young white girl comes along, and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark, it's about what she represents. My point is, grow.
Just when it looked like the WNBA had finally figured it out, finally ready to ride Caitlin Clark's rocket ship straight into mainstream relevance and serious money, they tripped over their own shoelaces. And by tripped, I mean a full-on faceplant. Because Caitlin Clark, the league's one-woman ratings machine, the player single-handedly keeping the turnstile spinning, is officially out for the rest of the season.
Find out what the rest of the WNBA is going to do in terms of popularity. You've been saying up and down that, you know, whether tacitly or directly, that, you know what, she's getting too much shine, even though we respect and what have you, we deserve our shine. Well, now's a perfect opportunity for you to prove that. If not, acknowledge her impact on the financial aspects that she brings to the table, adopt the mentality that a rising tide lifts all boats, and learn to have an elevated level of appreciation for what she has brought to the game, and assist her in making the league even more profitable.
The reaction: instant meltdown. Fans are furious. Talk shows are in overdrive. And Stephen A. Smith, he's practically levitating with rage. He's calling out everybody. The bullies who targeted Clark from day one, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and especially Angel Reese, who's out here faking back injuries like it's a marketing strategy. If you're Team Caitlin, drop a "baby goat over baby giraffe" in the comments.
But you have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. And you will always be picked apart, unfortunately.
She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished. And on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exists, and she has exploited it to her advantage. And so when you take that into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
Here's the reality check. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's the star. She turned women's basketball into actual must-see TV. Before her, watching a random WNBA game was a niche hobby. With her, people are literally rearranging dinner plans to catch her logo threes. And how does the league handle this miracle? By running her straight into the ground. The WNBA will try to spin this as business as usual, but let's be honest, the product is collapsing faster than Angel Reese's shot selection.
Unfortunately though, the celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson: be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post: Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword: shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may think.
And that's where Stephen A. enters. He didn't just comment, he detonated. While other voices mumbled, "Get well soon," Stephen A. came in swinging like a one-man wrecking crew. He ripped the refs for swallowing whistles, torched the league for incompetence, and shredded the jealous players who've been hacking Clark since day one. Finally, somebody said what needed to be said.
Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do.
He turned his rant into a courtroom takedown. The evidence: executives, clueless; refs, spineless; Angel Reese, embarrassing. And then the hammer: you think this league can survive without Caitlin Clark? Cool. Check the numbers and try not to cry.
Thanks to Clark, Indiana led the league in attendance both at home and on the road. The Fever averaged 17,035 fans at home and over 15,000 on the road. 4 teams moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. That's about Caitlin Clark. How do we know this? Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, and Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year earlier.
So let's check those numbers. Clark-led games this year averaged 1.178 million viewers. Games without her, a pathetic 394,000. That's not a dip, that's a nosedive. A free fall off a cliff. And yet, Angel Reese still complains Clark is stealing the spotlight. Newsflash, people don't tune in for a walking turnover who spends more time curating Instagram than refining her game. Caitlin Clark makes people care. Angel Reese makes people roll their eyes.
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings, because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is valid.
Stephen A. has been watching this train wreck unfold for months. He saw legends like Cheryl Swoops tossing shade at Clark like jealousy was their side hustle. He saw Reese hijack every interview to play the victim. And he saw Engelbert, the commissioner, act like Clark's rise was some happy accident instead of the one thing saving the WNBA from irrelevance.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. Okay. Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Stephen A. has been watching this train wreck unfold for months. He saw legends like Cheryl Swoops tossing shade at Clark like jealousy was their side hustle. He saw Reese hijack every interview to play the victim. And he saw Engelbert, the commissioner, act like Clark's rise was some happy accident instead of the one thing saving the WNBA from irrelevance.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Meanwhile, Stephen A. is shouting from the rooftops, "I told you so." And he's right. Clark isn't just the face of the WNBA. She is the WNBA. Without her, this league goes back to background noise. And now, with Clark sidelined, the WNBA is panicking while Stephen A. dunks on them harder than anyone thought possible. He even dropped some wisdom in the middle of his firestorm. If Caitlin Clark is the magnet pulling in millions of eyeballs, then shut up, protect her, and ride the wave. Translation: stop pretending this is some collective movement. It's not. It's Caitlin Clark carrying the entire league. Ignore that, and you don't deserve to cash a single paycheck her stardom created.
Became the first rookie with at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. Became the fourth different rookie to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game. That was her. I'm looking at other things. 6 different league television partners. This is last year. This is last season. Because this is the Caitlin Clark that we're talking about. 6 different league television partners set viewership records that year, her rookie year, for its highest viewed WNBA game. Do you know every one of those games included the Indiana Fever?
The receipts don't lie. Clark's debut against the Chicago Sky, 2.7 million viewers, the most watched WNBA game in ESPN history. That wasn't luck. That was coronation. A generational talent had arrived. And what did the league do? Downplayed it. Tried to pretend she was just another rookie. Issued bland, PR-written blurbs instead of embracing the player who was rewriting their future.
That's it for today's video. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.